Hello everyone, welcome to today's satsang. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. So today's song is by Juhi ji. Priya Ishwar ji ki kripa. Translation is Beloved Ishwar ji, your graciousness. After that, introduction by Michael. Then today's talk is by Dr. Chand. Topic is Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande. Yatha Brahmande Tatha Pinde. Translation: Single cell versus cosmos. A cosmic cognitive restructuring. Sorry, cognitive restructuring. After that, we'll have a short dhyan session of 5 minutes. And then we'll play Master's YouTube video, and then we'll do group meditation with love and devotion. Thank you so much. Now we should start with the song by Jogi ji.
प्रिय ईश्वर जी की कृपा कतरा भी चुका पाऊं, मुझ में वो बात नहीं, मेरी औकात नहीं। प्रिय ईश्वर जी की कृपा कतरा भी चुका पाऊं, मुझ में वो बात नहीं, मेरी औकात नहीं। गर सारी धरती को कागज में बना डालूं, गर सारी धरती को कागज में बना डालूं, गर सात समंदर को स्याही में बना डालूं, फिर भी वर्णन क्या करूं ईश्वर जी की महिमा का, फिर भी वर्णन क्या करूं ईश्वर जी की महिमा का। मुझ में वो बात नहीं, मेरी औकात नहीं, मुझ में वो बात नहीं, मेरी औकात नहीं। प्रिय ईश्वर जी की कृपा कतरा भी चुका पाऊं, मुझ में वो बात नहीं, मेरी औकात नहीं। किस्मत के मारों को मिलता सत्कार नहीं, किस्मत के मारों को मिलता सत्कार नहीं, बस ईश्वर जी के दर पे ही ऐसा व्यवहार नहीं, उनके उपकारों को मर के भी चुका पाऊं, उनके उपकारों को मर के भी चुका पाऊं, मुझ में वो बात नहीं, मेरी औकात नहीं, मुझ में वो बात नहीं, मेरी औकात नहीं। प्रिय ईश्वर जी की कृपा
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to satsang. Special thanks to my sister Jui for her beautiful song. You know, I met Jui in India, and there was a story one time. I got really food poisoning when I was in India, and in Pune. When I was in Pune, and it was the Sheraton Hotel there, and I couldn't watch. Like I would go to satsang, force myself, but then like in the morning I had to run back to the room. I couldn't. I was dizzy, and then I forced myself again in the evening time. And at the end of satsang, I ran to the elevator because I had to go to my room. I was feeling sick, and then the elevator closed, and then all of a sudden it opened again, and it was Master. It was Master coming in with Diane, and then they saw me like, Diane, because she's a nurse, she knew directly that Mike is getting sick, and she said, "Get Master out of the elevator right now." Mike is getting sick. So they got Master out of the elevator, even though he gave me nice drishti and he looked at me. And then the elevator closed again, and I had like a bag with me, and I got sick, and nobody saw anything. And then the door opened again, and it was Juhi, and she was so nice to me, like a real sister. And she's like, "Oh, what do you need? I'll get you whatever you want. I'll walk you to your room if you need." And I'm like, it's okay, I'm okay." But just my dear sister Juhi, you know, Father God put her there, and God knows what kind of karma I paid, especially in front of the Master. It must have been a big mitigation. God knows what that I paid off that debt in the presence of the Master. So thank you, Juhi, for your seva and for you always giving us beautiful songs for Master. So Sant Kirpal used to say that the only person that doesn't have humility, I mean, the only one that doesn't have humility is Father God, because he's the end all and be all of the show. He's the Alpha, the Omega, and in between, and there is no one that we can, there's no one for him to bow for, because he's everything. And Sant Kirpal used to say that if you want to ever take a present to God, then take the present of humility. That when we take the present of humility to God and we bring that present to Him, then He is closer and closer to our heart. That God is the closest to the most humble. Sometimes we are not ready to accept our sins and mistakes. Even though we have many faults, we look at the faults of others before we look into our own self, into our own faults, that we don't accept our faults. But when we grow in humility, when we grow in God, when we grow in our love, and our ego goes down, and as ego and humility are opposite of each other, once humility goes up, then ego goes down. As when humility goes up and ego goes down, then we will start to really look at our own faults, at our own mistakes, before we look at the mistakes of others. That's why Sant Kirpal Singh, he and the many saints, and my master too, have subscribed the diary. The diary that it shows us when we start to look, introspect ourselves on daily basis, and see our inner condition. How is our inner condition doing? And in the beginning, we don't realize how many bad thoughts we have, how many anger thoughts, or how many criticism thoughts. All of these things we don't realize, but when we start to look at every thought, then we will see, oh my God, I'm having like over 100 lust thoughts or over 100 anger thoughts, you know. And when we start to introspect them, they start to go down with time, because when we introspect them and write them down and give them to Master, then it is Master's responsibility to clean our inner system, our mind, and make it more pure and make it more acceptable to God and the kingdom of God. So the great saints, the great saints, they never ever, even though they have become one with God and they have mixed with God, they never ever say that they are one with God. They always say that they are the servants of the sun God. Farid, Sheikh Farid, He used to say, "Black is my garb, and black are my deeds. Black are my, and I have no good qualities." And he said that. However, I have no good qualities. However, people say I am the beloved of God. That he said, black is my garb, black is my deeds. I have no good qualities. However, people say that I am the beloved of God. And he said that, Saint Kirpal said that, he said that after he reached the kingdom of God, after he reached Sachkhand, his awareness expanded to Sachkhand, he still said these words, that this is how much humility the saints have. Sometimes we say that we are the servants of the Sangat and we do our seva. However, we're looking for praise. We are looking for the praise of others, and that's not real humility when we ask others to praise us. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful when we do seva, to do it with real humility and not to look for praise, because that is part of the ego. When we look for others to praise us, then this is part of our ego, and that has to be changed. And Saint Ajayeb says that real humility comes only when our soul reaches such kind. Then humility will start to sprout from within us. From within us, it will start to grow. This is when real humility comes. You know, Guru Arjan Dev, he said, what is the matter with me, the foolish one? What is the matter with me, the foolish one? I have come to the, he was talking to God at this moment, and he was saying, what is the matter with me, this foolish one? Um, I have come to your refuge, and because I have come to your refuge, so many others have been liberated. That he was calling himself a foolish one, even though he was a great saint. That the more great the saint is, the more they are the more humility. They have the most humility. They never show their secret. They never show who they are, and they keep it they keep it as top secret. As if you look at Ishwar Puri Ji, he never ever said he's a master. In fact, if you say master, sometimes he would say, "Don't say that. Say my friend. I'm your friend, your brother, but don't call me a master." That this is how much humble they are. As really, the sun does not have to declare it's a sun. It, its light and its heat and its warmth is all over the universe, is all over this world. The same thing, the saint doesn't have to say he's a saint, doesn't have to say anything, but his light, his love, his glory just emerges out of him like a torch of light that fills the whole universe. So this is my, and then Saint Kabir says that the people who have fake humility, who say they are the servants of God, who say they are the servants of the people, but they don't have real humility in them, then what happens is that they start discord among the people. That only lasts for a few days, and then they are deceived by Maya. Maya has deceived them, the mind has deceived them, and then there is discord and disharmony, and they start disputes among the people that they are claiming, among those people that they have real humility. So humility is something good, and it can only, the real humility, as I said before, it can only come when we when our awareness expands to the Sachkhand. But in the meantime, while we are still nothingness, the best thing to do is to see God in everyone, and to serve those who are the lowest in society. When we start to look at those who are the lowest in society as they are God, and to serve them and to start to see God in them and have great respect for them as we have for any other person, then we will develop humility. At least at this time, this is what we should do to develop our soul in humility, is that we respect everyone and see God in everyone, no matter if they are very poor or homeless or having a low job, that we see God in them in this way. And then also to do the in this world, If we see anything wrong, like a piece of garbage on the ground, why not pick it up? Pick it up and put it in the bin. In this way, we also develop humility in ourselves. That I am the garbage collector of this universe. You know, I will do anything to beautify and add beauty to my surroundings that Father God has given me. So if we do small things like that, Sant Kirpal Singh once was walking among the Sangat, and you know, at that time, I don't know, I just heard that story that they didn't have like bathrooms or something, but they used to do it by the next of the river. And he was picking up, he was seen picking up you know, the excreta of people, and putting it and cleaning it up. This is how much humility the saints have, that they are the real servants of the Sangha. They are ready to use their beard, you know, to wipe the shoes of the holy ones. This is how much humility that they have developed. They don't need praise. They don't ask for praise from anyone. So this is the true humility, and I hope one day I will develop it, and my ego will be crushed. And if I ever have ego, I ask Master, I ask Father God, please forgive me and take it away. As I'm always like having that fear. Oh, do I have ego or something like that? So if I do, I put my head on the feet of my Master and I ask, please forgive me, Father God, if I ever have ego. I wanted to read one story of Mastana ji, and then we could, my brother, uh, uh, Dr. Chant. I can't wait to listen to his talk, but I'll read the story. Mastana ji. Mastana ji would always make his beloved master happy by dancing before him. Being intoxicated with the love of his master, he could not help dancing in front of Hazur. In fact, he was not dancing himself, as it was his master's love which would make his soul dance. Being in joy inside, he danced with Hazur's order within and would stop with the order within. Wherever Hazur went to give his satsang, if Mastana ji was sitting in the satsang, he could not keep himself from dancing and becoming intoxicated with inner love for his master. That you know, we played Anoop sent that "Wake Me Up," and Mary put it on her website. We played that shabd in the beginning, and it is just, it wants to make me also dance when I see Master. And I did you see how much love was around coming out of Master in that video of Ishwar Puri ji, and how much happy were the people around him, as love is infectious. And when love comes out of the Master and we look at the Master, we become so happy, and we want to dance like Mastana ji. And I can't wait for that day where I see Ishwar Puri ji again and my soul dances in his presence. That day, I hope it will come soon. I'm sick of this live stream. Master has to change it. So thank you so much, and I welcome my dear brother Chand, Dr. Chand, who really blesses us with his presence every week and gives us treasure words.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael. You, first of all, create a wonderful ground, for all of us to be intoxicated by telling the stories of saints, It's really wonderful. So today, I was talking that, yatha pinde tatha brahmande, yatha brahmande tatha pinde, means that whatever is here in this body, the whole cosmos is exactly the same, what is here. And I would like to go further down to a single cell. Now that single cell has got everything there in it. So there is a soul in that small single cell which you can't even see through a microscope. So this is how the basic aspect of understanding the single cell and the whole cosmos, how they are, the microcosm and macrocosm. So you can have that comparison with us, as a small little cell in the mother's womb that starts, or the small cell which started in the beginning, the first single cell, like amoeba we know, which graduated to the crown of creation, the human body, 8.4 million species, we crossed and became a human body. Now here, that small little cell has got soul in it. It has got that mind and a body. So I say the floating material body of the cosmos, the universal mind, and the absolute. So that's what is exactly the same in that small little cell we can't see. So everything is there in it. So how the comparison has to be understood, that, whatever the God is, and God is an epitome in you, in your single cell. So there are 100 trillion cells in your body. So you can see that 100 trillion gods are working with you. 100 trillion universal minds are there. 100 trillion bodies are there. They are all here because you are made out of those material, which all the floating material bodies of the cosmos. You have got the same mind, As I say, you acquired the mind, created the causal mind and the causal body as a sketch. Then you further refined it into astral body and an astral mind, which is a blueprint for a human body. And then you created the first single cell to graduate to the crown of creation, the human body. So this is how the whole concept goes on. So understanding that how big is the universe, how many, stars and galaxies are there, and how it is all expanding at the moment, how huge it is. Now, understanding this area, now you will find that huge area of those, creation, the whole creation. And if you look into that small little cell, that RNA, DNA has got all that information, so huge. The beauty is that all that which is in the cosmos is there in you, in that small little cell, which has got all that information and so many. And if you look in the Google, you will find out, if you want to see the whole cosmos, how the cosmos is operating, small little videos, you can see those things, how huge it is and how many, frequencies been working there. Because it is said, Shabde Dharti, Shabde Akash, Shabad Shabad Bhaya Prakash. Means that Shabad has created. So you are that light and sound. Means you are that Noor and that Shabad. You are here. And that same is in that small little cell. Now this particular area, if we understand this, it takes us to the next step. And I call that cosmic cognitive restructuring. Now, what is that? That at this time, when, as I say, that when we reached the human body, we thought we are a body only. Then we started amassing a lot of information. So we said, we know everything. So those egos came in. Later on, then the saints came and told us, no, we are a soul. We have got an acquired mind and a created body. Now, this is how this cognitive restructuring means that we've been thinking that we are a body only. Or we started thinking we are mind, we know everything. So now this is what we've been involved. All the total science been working on material sciences. They were not looking into the other area, because we understand this, that the science and spirituality has got one thing to understand. Science says that consciousness, was created by material. Whereas in spirituality, we say consciousness created the material. Now they say material created the consciousness. So here is a difference. Here is a key point to understand. Most of us, with a logical conclusion, will always say that consciousness would have created material. Whereas the science wants to predominantly say this, no, material created consciousness. So this is where the understanding comes, and most of us will agree that consciousness would have created material, and that is what is true. That how it created, how time created material, and how the whole cosmos came up. In my talks, I do explain all this. But now understanding if you see one of the videos on which because I have not yet started sharing my videos with you, which I think in future we should say, because I can share my screen also with you. But I don't have that support yet with me to show you my PowerPoint presentations in the night here. Because during the day there are some boys who can really help me do that. But then I learn from them and show you all that. So what I wanted to show you is that how this brain, which is a part of my body, has got so many circuits in that. Because those circuits in my brain are dealing with each of my cell. You know, if there is a small little prick on my hand of a pen or anything, then my cell, which gets that prick, informs the next cell. And the next cell will inform the next, and that is how the information will reach my brain. And which has got all those circuits, you know. Can you imagine, if you can really understand this part, that how complex is your brain, which is connected to each one of your cells, which are trillions of them in your body. Now, this is what is a beautiful thing to understand. This is what gives you an inclination to understand the cosmic cognitive restructuring. Cognition means that how you understand things. Now, if you want to compare the whole cosmos with you, now the understanding starts developing with much more confidence that, well, the God is within me and he can only do that. How many circuits are there? How nicely each thing has been planned, you know. My eye, which looks outside, and it, you know, both the eyes join at a place and then form a picture at the back of the head. Now you see what a fantastic camera God has created. Much better camera than any other camera. Now you can imagine that how you are breathing, how that those lungs with those fibers there, and the blood comes on those fibers and it flows onto those fibers and goes back. How the oxygen which you are inhaling is treating that blood and that circulates. Now this kind of a complex thing, I don't think we could have ever done that. So that gives you a proof to those people who are not in the satsang here, but the people who don't believe it. So this is how it has to be understood, that how beautiful design is this. It's an intelligent design of a human body. Why it is that great? Because this body is the crown of creation, and here is the chance to go back. Because here we have got that body and our free will is here, and free will is only to go back. As very rightly Ishwar Puriji explains that, look, you are that light and sound connected with the absolute in real time. And before you is a film running. So the other day I was saying it is a black and white film, then there is a Sovo color film, then there is a Technicolor film. So this is how my causal mind, my astral mind and my physical mind are projecting. So that soul, which is the real light behind, and we decided, it is our decision to come and get into this adventure, to look this time-bound material creation. But you know, in spite of all these facts, all these saints and sages came to tell us that we are the divine. We are not this mind. We are not this body. We have acquired the mind, and we created the body. Now, forgetting this is an area of folly. That if we can falter here, this is what will make a trap for us. As I was explaining, that each component of your body, how the heart works, how the kidneys function, how the liver operates, how your pancreas will give that juice to break the sugar and send it to various locations in the body. This energy is working 24/7 in your body. It doesn't need any rest. That is what is that power which you hold. And that power has developed you right from the beginning, from a single cell to this position, today's era. But this is all a dream, because you decided to come for an adventure. And this is the best thing, the way Ishwar Puriji explains this phenomena. I've been explaining it with a view of co-aim theory in practice. I say that correlation of your attention, information, and material. Because we want to make it simpler for the children to understand in the schools. Correlation, attention means, attention is the outer expression of your soul. And that soul, which is a creative intelligence, is connected to the source, which is absolute intelligence capable force, through the Shabad, which is known as particle and wave theory in the modern science. The outer expression is your attention, and this attention is like an omni-scanner. So please understand this area, that this is the light. This is Noor. This is that light, which is being explained in Bible also, the God is light. So that God is working in you here and now. It worked in the mother's womb also. It was becoming from one to many, because it felt like loving in the Moj, as saints say. In the stride of bliss, they felt like loving, and to love it became from one to many. So now we started this adventure, acquired the mind, and then entered into it. Then created further things in the human body, finally. Now here, why I am repeating this again and again? Because this is what is covering the whole concept, everything. Because I say, as per Lord Krishna's Gita, 7th chapter, 2nd shloka, talks about that the knowledge has to be in such a manner that after knowing, nothing remains to be known except living that knowledge and exploring it into your day-to-day life. How you can do this? This is how you can do that if you understand this part. Correlation of your attention with information and material. Information is your mind, material is your body. So that particular energy, that light, had rather acquired the mind and goes through all that mind. The universal mind also it knows. The huge billions of light years away, because 13.7 billion years from the center it had started. So if you calculate both the sides, 13.7 plus say 14 billion years and 14, 28. And if it is that way, 28, and then if you look at the circumference, it becomes 3 times that. Now you can imagine how huge, billions of light years away, the huge cosmos is there. So all those laws of nature embedded in the whole thing, your creative intelligence, your soul, which is like an omni-scanner, scanned and acquired that, used it. It further created the sketch because you did it. And you further created your own, as Ishwar Puriji says, you created your own DVD, what you want to see. I would like to say in those steps that there is a black and white movie, there's a film and the light is being projected on that. The next one is your astral mind and astral body. From there, it is further reflected into other colors. And then you are here looking at the material world. So understanding cosmic cognitive restructuring means that if you know this, after knowing, nothing remains to be known except living the knowledge and exploring it into your day-to-day life, is that you must know you are that. Because as Ishwar Puri has been telling you, that at the same time, the saints are in all the stages, they know. At the next moment, they are there in Sachkhand, and the next moment, they are here on the material plane. You are the same. You have got the same ability. And as he explains that as you rise, then the master as a friend appears and holds your hand and takes you further. And finally, you know that you are that. Master and you merge together. So understanding this knowledge and to increase your confidence, increasing your, all this satsang is to develop your confidence for your meditation and understanding that you are actually that. And if you run this life with those attributes, then something wonderful is going to happen. Because those attributes of the divine are, as my mother tells me, it is love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, humility, wisdom, state of art, planning ability, patience, and its execution ability also. Let us face as it comes, justice. So if we run with those attributes, and those attributes must percolate from your mind, in peace, your thinking also should be with those divine attributes, and your behavior should also be as per that. This is what is having cosmic cognitive restructuring. Because why I am calling it as restructuring? Because at the level of the body and mind, we had developed a proper structure for our lives. And that is the philosophy which is developing our psychology, and that is what is developing our behavior in this world. Now, once we do cosmic cognitive restructuring, that we are adding that divine part, that this divine part is energizing. The other day I was listening to Ishwar Puriji, and he very clearly mentions what we say here, what I learned from my mother is this, that mind does not have its own energy. Body does not have its own energy. Both of them strive on the energy of your attention. Wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. These two fellows, body and mind, grab your attention and use it. And they are thriving on it and making, they are just confusing us. Let me not use the word that they are making a fool of us, because we have allowed them to do it. You gave your attention to them, okay? Oh, my mind, use this attention. Oh, my body, use this attention. And they are dragging you down into karma theory and involving you here into temporary pleasures. Now, this cosmic cognitive restructuring will tell you that there are much more pleasures up there, because there don't need to work that hard here. You need not to suffer, because your creative intelligence, you are connected with Absolute. If you want anything, it is so instant there, just in a moment. Because that is what is bothering us here, because soul has got that ability that whatever it wanted, because where time and material do not exist, we can create anything. We are that capable force. So whatever we wanted, it appeared just in a huff. If you want a good golden house, we get it. Whatever we want, any kind of things, they just happen there in a moment. But here, at this plane, it takes so much of hard work, and we can't achieve it. Because the karma theory comes in, sometimes we go ups and downs. But if we rise here, from here, as you understand from the talks of Ishwar Puriji, that once you go to the astral level, you don't have weight of your body. because then you can fly. That light, understanding this, there also your soul is there, but the astral mind is overpowering it. And he tells you to sit in meditation in your astral mind and astral body. Just go ahead into that. Maybe in the beginning you are just using that imagination that you are sitting there. And then starting from there, and then very abrupt progress in your meditation will start happening. And he very rightly says this, yes, it is possible. And he has explained this through his own experiences. And the kind of experiences which were given here at our place was for the education purposes. So we made it much simpler. It is known as co-aim theory in practice. What is the correlation of your attention, which is the outward expression, which is like an omniscanner, passes through the mind and passes through the body, and through my senses of my body, it goes downwards and outwards into the world. Now that is what has to be withdrawn. So there is a correlation of your attention with the information which is your mind, and material is your body. 100 trillion cells and such a complex system inside. That creator has helped you, help your individuated soul. That is how Ishwar Puriji explains that part, that individual soul. Because after acquiring the mind, it became individuated. It started saying an individual soul. But without that causal mind, we are part of the absolute. We are not individual. We are all one. So we are part of that one. And we did that part. Now, realization of this, that we are at all the levels, Now, this is what, this knowledge, we can use this knowledge to live here happily ever after. And at the same time, we can really enjoy this without any problems. Because each ups and downs of our life, let us enjoy this. John Keats also wrote beautiful poetries on that, that even in the pain, he's enjoying that pain. The mother enjoys that pain at the time of the birth of the child, So enjoying that pain is an area that here in this world, ups and downs will definitely come. But if we want to really, as I again repeat that sentence, that after knowing, nothing remains to be known except living the knowledge and exploring it. So every day, every moment, you got to explore this. We are here for a short while. Let me give that example of a tourist. We are here as a tourist for a while. So during this sojourn of the soul on this time-bound material creation has to be a happy experience. Because without being happy, you won't be able to meditate. Please listen to this. I see Mike, all the time bubbling with that activity. And his face shows that he's happy all the time. So may God bless him more and more of his meditation progress. Something similar. All of us should learn how to, because this is what is, we are exploring it. To be happy all the time. Even in the worst circumstances, if we keep that smile on our face, I can see Puneet's photograph here, he's smiling. So if we can keep that smile all the time on our face, that is what helps, And this is what I meant today, that how those circuits of billions of cells and everything, and how the whole cosmos has got so many connections and magnetic gravitational forces are pulling and keeping them together. It's something like that. So if we understand that the whole cosmos and that single cell are the same, they are of the same essence. So thank you very much for listening, and that's great. And
You
thank
can
you,
talk
Michael.
more if you want. I just put my video on just to smile, but you can talk more.
Okay. Feel like. So now, this is how I would like to explain, and And if you start feeling this every day within yourself, that see how this system is working, and every moment it'll give you that excitement. Then you are exploring. I could see the other day I was listening some very good scholars, they were talking on spirituality. I would like to name him as Wayne Dyer, Wayne Dyer. And I was listening his talk, on spirituality. He was explaining that how a person got cancer in his body, and how by exploring this ability, by knowing more about spirituality, he cured his cancer by just keeping himself happy. When I did my PhD, one of the gentlemen from Japan came, and he explained that, well, I have cured my cancer by remaining happy. Now see, even that worst part of his karma, because he understood that connection with the absolute and remaining happier, because once you are sad, everything affects your body inside, each organ. Whenever you will be in a tense situation, stressed once, the effect on the organs of your body happens there. And they say continuous irritation causes cancer. So what is happening? We are continuously irritating. I mean, that irritation is happening. Why it is happening? Due to our attitudes. Being sad, morose, and without, once you are part of the absolute, why to get that feeling, of depressed feeling? Because you are making him suffer. The absolute which is in you, he suffers, he is the only sensor, because your attention is a single sensor of all the senses. So why make him suffer? And he has got the ability to really avoid that irritation of your different organs of your body, and to remove all those bad cells from your body, and to make you healthy. So something wonderful is there in this knowledge. And I think if the children, they start learning about this, every time you will get something new from them. Because these children, as we are planning for the whole world to introduce this curriculum, through their meditation, their attention, which will work like an omni-scanner, can pick up many areas, how to really cure yourself, how those good times can come in this world. Now, this is what is an area, we've been thinking about it, and I really request all of you to really work little bit, give small little time, maybe about, generally we give 10% of our time for meditation, but if you can give about of that time, another 10% to this thought, that how to develop these stories based on co-aim theory and practice. That correlation of your attention, which has got divine attributes, mind, which is information, deals with lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears, and worries, etc. Body, no hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world's excessive. How this correlation, how to really, imbibe those divine attributes, which should percolate from your mind and through your body, through the senses in your behavior. If this child knows, and this can cure all the diseases of your body. And this is how I would like to conclude my talk. Michael, I'm really keen to listen to the master, and due to you, I'm able to listen to that. Of course, I have all those videos, on YouTube, but here you select someone which really gives a lot of soothing effect, to the soul. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chand. We really enjoy having you here. I will really look forward to your talks. And sometimes I listen to them more than once in case I missed something.
The other day I sent you a message about James, So I sent you his address also. So I do not know whether you know him or not, but then he's a satsangi. And so we had a talk on this concept to take it to the UN under the heading of right to enlightenment, and then duty to get enlightened, and to develop this curriculum for children, and even to make a film on it like Avatar. So the concept is that how the creation came up, how it all started, how non-material created the material, how my earth came up, how life started, how it graduated. Then he said, some of the people came from California and they said, why don't you add up a love story to the whole thing? So then we added a love story that two young man and a woman were in love in ancient times, where tribes were there, but those tribes were fighting with each other, both of them died. Now these two buddies, they are born in the modern times now, and they are again in different religions and they can't meet each other. And again, that problem is there. But anyhow, they love each other, they get married, and they learn this concept of co-aim theory in practice. Then they learn from a perfect living master how to really leave this body while living. So they start doing all that practice and they rise above their body and mind and they meet in the heavens, and that's how they enjoy this journey every time. But in the meantime, the karma theory takes over. I'm just concluding. The karma theory takes over in this story that the boy is terminally ill now. He has to die. Now the boy is dying in the lap of the girl, and the girl is pregnant with the child, and she's rather meditating to develop that child spiritually well. But then while dying, this gentleman is dying, leaving his body. Both of them get into meditation. He leaves his body, he leaves his mind. Both of them rise above as they used to do, and they meet each other. Once she comes back to the body, and the boy does not come back, she does not cry for it because she knows what death is. So now explaining that how the fear of death and all. So this story is being developed, and we would like people like David Cameron should join hands to make such a movie where it tells you about the spiritual core, that how your soul did all this, how you graduated from that single cell to the crown of creation, the human body, and then how you understand spirituality. Thank you very much for listening.
Wow,
Thanks.
that'll be a great thing if it becomes a movie. God
Yeah,
willing. God willing,
yeah.
it's gonna become a movie. It'll be great.
Yeah, it can fund all that place, in Wisconsin where we are making this dome and everything. And if somebody really comes in, we got to make a small little promo to convince those people. And then I told James that I would like to come to Chicago and meet all of you, including
We would
Master.
love to have you here.
Yeah, so let's see what really happens in future. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Okay. All right. So now let's do a 5-minute meditation to prepare ourselves to watch Master. 5 minutes of meditation.
And he walked towards the stage. And people saw a hunchback walking like this. And they said, this is the kind of man our king has invited to enlighten us. Something has gone wrong with the king. How can this guy enlighten us? So they were really mocking at the man. So when Ashtabakar came and sat on the chair, with the king on the other chair, he said, King, what is the price of leather today? And the king said, Master, we have invited you to talk about enlightenment and spiritual discovery of the self. What is the question of price of leather to do with it? He says, are they not all leather merchants sitting here? He says, no, they are royalty, they are noble people. They are my own relatives. He said, oh, I thought they are dealers in leather because they were looking at my body and my skin as if it is of some use to them. Then everybody kept quiet. This man has a sense of humor. He said he has a sense of humor. He saw that we were trying to mock at him. Then king said, okay, we understand. These people didn't understand how you could give us enlightenment, but I want instant knowledge. Ashtabakar said, even instant is time. How much time is an instant? He said, in my definition, an instant is when I ride my horse. I put my foot in the stirrup, jump on the saddle, that's one instant. He said, but you have to pay a price for that kind of instant knowledge. He said, I'll pay any price. All my treasury and coffers are open to you, master. Take whatever you want, but give me instant knowledge. He said, I want 3 things from you. The king said, take 10. No restriction. He said, no, only 3 things I want from you. Give me your body, give me your wealth, and give me your mind. When you've given me these 3, I'll give you instant knowledge. This was a very strange price tag, but the king was a very keen seeker. He immediately agreed. He said, Master, my body is at your disposal. All my wealth belongs to you now, and my mind is at your disposal, is yours. Ashtabakar said, are you sure you've given this body to me? He said, yes. Then can I keep the body wherever I like? Sure, master. Okay, get up from this chair and go and sit on my shoes that I left near the door. And the king got up. And all the audience was so upset. What kind of knowledge is this guy giving? What enlightenment is this that he's making the king go and sit on the shoes? And as they began to murmur again, this is nonsense what we have been called here for. As they were all murmuring to each other, the king walking toward the shoes thought, these people don't know. They think I have these palaces and all this wealth and what am I doing with this poor man? When this thought came to him, Ashtabakar shouted from the stage, King, you have no business to think of that wealth and your palaces, they're all mine now. You've given them to me. He said, oh my God, I forgot that I had given these things to the master. When he said that, Ashtabakar shouted, you can't even think what you gave or not gave. This mind of yours is mine. He said, I can't even think. And he put his hands like this. And Ashtabakar gave him some grace and he saw the light and got enlightened. He said, King Janak, you don't have to go to the shoes, come back. They came back. He said, King, did you get instant knowledge? He said, yes. Was it really an instant? He said, faster than an instant. He said, are you sure? He said, I am absolutely sure. Any questions? No question. Ashtabakar said, King, this was just a sampling of what lies within us. This enlightenment, this glimpse that you got of enlightened life inside was just a sample. Now do this meditation like I'll teach you. For 20 years, you'll get it back again. This is the old story of King Janak. And when my friend Trilok Chand from Burma went to Madras, the Swamiji in Madras told him, I follow the method of Ashtabakar. So you first give me your body, your wealth, and your mind. I'll give you enlightenment. Now imagine this man who did not spend 1 rupee, had to think so much. He said, it's all yours, Swamiji. My body is yours, my wealth is yours, my mind is yours. I'll follow King Janak's pattern. He said, transfer this 30,000 rupees into my account. I have to start building a temple. let's start with the wealth first of all. So he transferred all the wealth to the Swami, who began to make his ashram. Then he said, now you give the body, and for that you have to do the meditation by the techniques I will teach you, which is going to be a very complicated kind of pranayama, a breathing exercise. In this, you have to breathe alternately from the right nostril and the left nostril. You cannot breathe twice from the same nostril. And you cannot use your fingers to stop the nostril like this, because if you do that, all the attention will go into your hands and your fingers. Therefore, it has to be done internally with your tongue. Your tongue must twist backwards and must close the nasal orifices from inside. Once from this side, once from that side. With the tongue, you have to do it inside. And for doing that, you have to cut your tongue from its tethers here. The tendons have to be cut so it can move around. He said, like I have. And he opened his mouth, the Swami, and showed his tongue, just flew out like a snake's tongue, not attached to the tendons at all. He said, now I do the meditation by reversing my tongue and controlling my breathing from one side to the other. You have to do the same thing. And to make it a price that you pay for enlightenment, I'll not make it an easy surgery to cut this. I'll sandpaper it on a daily basis. It'll take 30 days for it to be cut. And to make it even more of a sacrifice, I'll use some nettle leaves with all the stinging thing on it. So you can cry and feel you paid for enlightenment. Imagine what kind of seeker that guy might have been, that he underwent that torture. For 30 days he was in that torture, and then tongue got released, and he practiced that pranayama of breathing with nostrils on either side. And he did get some inner relief. He saw some stars and moon also. He saw some lights inside. But that's all. And he told Swamiji, I have seen all this, but I want more. And Swamiji said, but that's all I can give you. If you want more, you have to find somebody else. So he began to then search again. Eventually he came to the great master, who was my master, whose picture is here. And I saw him talking to the master one evening. We used to have an evening meeting, a few of us sitting with the master. And he said, Master, if I had known that you are the real master who is going to take me up, I would not have given those 30,000 rupees to that Swami in Madras. The great master said, Trilokchan, you don't know, the day you came to me, I transferred those 30,000 in my account. And all the work you did there, I transferred into my account. He said, we never lose any part of our effort that we make towards enlightenment. It's all accumulated. Therefore, never worry. If you have gone to a master who teaches you only a part of the way, it's still worthwhile. He's taken you part of the way. And if you keep on seeking, you find a master who will take you further up. It's a course that starts from our family, from our fathers, parents, who teach us in the beginning. Then we go to school, we can get some influence there. We go to church, we go to temple, we get influence there. It's not a simple thing of just saying, you are a seeker, they're the perfect living master. We go through all these intermediate stages till we reach the perfect living master. Therefore, one should never worry about this. People are concerned, they talk to me. I don't know if I'm really initiated or not. I said, does your master tell you go within? Yes, he's right. No matter how far he takes you, he's giving you the right direction. If somebody says go within, he's right. How far you can go? Only as far as he has gone. No master can take you beyond where he has gone. Therefore, he will take you where he has gone. And if your seeking is still there, you'll definitely meet a master who will take you further. The whole system operates on seeking and finding. If you seek, you will find. The more you seek, the more you find. You seek your true home, you will find your true home. You seek a perfect living master will come into your life. In India, they say, when the chela is ready, the guru appears. Which means when a disciple is ready, the master appears. They don't say when the disciple is ready, he'll find a master. They never say you'd go look around and find a master. How would you know who is a master? How would you distinguish between two people who are teaching the same thing and one is a master and one is a fake? It's almost impossible for us. In a short interview, you can't know who is a master. Therefore, the best thing is to go as far as you can and let the perfect living master find you and keep on seeking further. Seeking is inside. If a perfect living master does not know you are seeking inside, he is not a perfect living master. It's as simple as that. That's the definition of a perfect living master. That he comes to pick up those who are his marked souls. How does the marking take place? The marking is taking place right at inception in Sachkhand, in totality of consciousness. When I said in the morning that some souls who said we go to adventure land, but if we get distracted, who will bring us back? And they made an arrangement. That arrangement is called the marking of souls. And whoever got marked, these people come and take the marked souls back. Every human being who comes functions as a perfect living master is a perfect living master for his marked souls. He may give a discourse for the whole world. He may spread the word around. And many may be called to listen to him, but few are chosen. The chosen ones are the marked souls. Therefore, it is the duty, responsibility, and function of a perfect living master to pick up his marked souls. It's not the function of the soul. The soul doesn't know. Soul is trapped right here. Therefore, don't bother too much. That I am searching very hard for a perfect living master. Don't search for a master, search for truth within yourself. If you search for truth within yourself, master must appear in your life. And he appears through wonderful process we call coincidence. What is coincidence? It's not an accident. No coincidence is ever an accident. It's a message. It sends us a message straight away. Whenever we have a real problem in our minds, you try it out and think of the problem, and suddenly you open a book and the answer is there. You drive a car and a billboard relating to something totally different has one line that is answering your question. On the spiritual questions particularly, this kind of coincidence happens. And when you seek more, you have more coincidences. I found out all my life with all my friends. They said ever since we came on the spiritual path, these strange coincidences have increased in their frequency. Oh, that's what happens. This coincidence and circumstantial thing that happen around us are all messages. Because when we realize that the world is created through consciousness, it modifies itself according to what our seeking is. And therefore, these events take place in our life. One should not worry too much about that factor, because a lot of people get worried. We had this master, that master, there are so many masters. I get emails. I don't know, I am a seeker. And I know I have met 3 masters by now. Some say 5 masters. I believe there are hundreds of them now. I believe, as Great Master used to say, there are more masters now in India than seekers. The number of masters grown so much, and it become big business, international business for masters to go about and collect disciples and collect their money. This has become a business. So how can a person know who is a perfect living master? He's confused. I get letters, I am confused. There's so many masters around. Where shall I go? Well, first of all, if a master, instead of giving us something, wants to take something, don't go after him. Step number 1. No perfect living master comes to take from us, he comes to give us. Therefore, if a master is demanding something from you, anything, in cash or kind, reject him. That's my clear advice, because that's not the definition of a perfect living master. He comes to give. He never charges for anything that is giving. He no charge for his discourses, no charge for initiation, no charge for taking you back in, no charge for making you practice meditation. Never charges anything. If he does, he's a businessman, not a master. Remember this. Then, supposing the number of masters, and they all look like they're real, who would you follow? The answer is, The one who pulls you with his love. The one who pulls you with his unconditional love. And you will find that is where the discrimination can be made. Not all of them pull you with the same love. But a master whose marked sheep you are will pull you. He, the shepherd, come to collect the sheep. Therefore, whenever you have this question, don't worry about it. Say where you're pulled. Suppose you're pulled to a master and then find another master. It's your turn to move because he's taken you up to the point where he can take you. These are very simple issues, but they are getting so complicated because of too many masters around. So that's why I keep on telling my friends, don't worry. Whoever pulls you, go. He'll take you as far as he can. If you feel you haven't reached your true home, keep on seeking. And another master will come in your life, and he does. So therefore, remember, the marked souls are the ones the masters have a list. They carry their own list. Each master has carried his own list. Masters have been here ever since they were seekers. Masters don't come for mastery here, they come here for seekers, to respond to the seekers. Therefore, wherever there's a seeker, there's a master. The master is the response to seeking. He's not coming by himself to teach something. Therefore, you just seek in your heart. Seek. If you want to be an accelerated seeker, want to seek fast, then seek in the area behind your eyes. Because that is where the inner master is sitting, waiting for you. Now, you told me, many of you, that you would like to practice meditation. Are you still ready? Good. Shall we do it now, a little session? So that you know how to draw your attention to the third eye center, which is the starting point. This is just the beginning, and I want you to join with me so that you know that the doorway to all this enlightenment we talk about lies inside us, and the opening is right behind the eyes, at the third eye center. In this meditation exercise, I will only like you to close your eyes, sit quietly. Your body should be still. You can sit in a position that is comfortable, but not too comfortable. What does that mean? It should be comfortable enough not to drag your attention to the discomfort, and should not be too comfortable to make you go to sleep. Because I can tell you that meditation is a great sleeping pill also. When people say, I have insomnia, I say, try meditation. And they will get sleep very quickly. So meditation makes you sleep, because when you try to put the attention here, the attention tries to go down and you go to sleep session. So that's why to hold the attention here, you have to be alert. To be alert, your body has to be alert too. So in an upright position in the body, take any position that's comfortable, not uncomfortable. Don't worry about aches and pains then. If there are any aches and pains, then they'll draw you down. After you have settled down your body, then you close your eyes comfortably and contemplate what is in your head behind these eyes. You know where the eyes are. What is the space behind these eyes? Are you there? Where are you in that space? Can you figure out where you are? If you can't figure out, imagine you are there. Imagine this body is a house. It has 6 floors, and the 6th floor is at the level of the eyes. The other floors are below us. Can you imagine you're sitting on the 6th floor, behind the eyes, in the center of the head? Can you imagine the 2 ears are on either side of you? The physical eyes are in front of you now. The nose is right little below you, where you're sitting there. You're sitting comfortably on the floor, on a chair, on standing. Can you imagine you are right there behind the eyes? That's the first exercise. Close your eyes and try to be there. Don't think of anything else except being there. See what's happening there, inside your head. It's a huge space. It looks small, but once you are there, you'll see there's plenty of space all around you. First keep looking in front, and if you can, look on the side also, without turning your physical head. See if you can turn your vision inside and look both sides. See if you're independent of the body and sitting in your head. See, that is not the body that's moving, it's you behind the eyes. You're a separate being sitting inside your body. Don't think of anything else. Just examine what is there. See, is it a comfortable place? Can you make it better? Can you lay down a little rug or a carpet behind the eyes? Can you put a nice chair to sit on? Can you put some decorations around yourself? Imagine that's your prayer room, a room for meditation. That's the room for meditation in your head. Keep it nice and decorated. Clean it up if necessary. Don't go anywhere else. Stay there. Don't think of anything else. If any images or figures come in front of you, let them pass. Don't follow them. If any distraction takes place, bring yourself back to the center of the room. If you see any light or color, ignore it. Let it pass. If you hear any sounds, don't move toward the sound. Stay in the center. Don't lose your location. Stay in the center. You are in the center of the head. Concentrate on being there.
All right, my dear holy family, it's time to meditate, to go to the center of the head and put our chair and carpet and imagine ourselves in the middle of the head, like Master said, and try to see him inside. So if we can forget about the body outside, the body below and the world outside, and come up here to the third eye center, to the doorway to the kingdom of God, and repeat the holy mantra slowly with intervals with the tongue of thought. And I wish you the best meditation. I hope to see you tomorrow for another holy day in Holy Father God. Thank you for coming. I'll keep Zoom on for 20 minutes so we can meditate together.